SRAM and Shimano have had a duopoly on mountain bike drivetrains for the better part of 2 whole decades. A lot of brands have tried to break through the ranks with varying success. Microshift are now a common sight on budget bikes, for example. But what about the high end of the market? TRP's new Evo 12 drivetrain aims for the top, but can it really match up to what the big two can offer? I've been testing it to find out, but before I get into whether TRP can topple the two shifting giants, subscribe to the channel if you value independent reviews like this one. So just how did we get into this position? Buy pretty much any mid to high end bike and chances are it will have a Shimano or SRAM drivetrain. On the face of it, it's pretty easy to see why. Both are huge manufacturers who have a ton of money to throw at R&D and have the best engineers in the world on their books. So for a comparatively small brand, breaking through can be tough going. Which brings us to this. TRP is Tetro's racing division. With the might of a brand like Tetro behind them, a huge original equipment or OE supplier of brakes, TRP have been making waves in the braking world. Its brakes are showing up on more and more complete bikes, so now the new Evo 12 drivetrain is here, will we see the same thing? So far at least, it doesn't exactly seem that way. There are few, if any at all, bikes equipped with Evo 12 out of the box, so if you want to experience it, you'll be buying it aftermarket. But should you be buying it? I'm going to jump straight into a spoiler alert. I just can't recommend going out and buying Evo 12 for your bike. And in a way, it really hurts me to say that. It is a very competent drivetrain. It shifts well enough, has proved very durable, and the ergonomics of the shifter are some of the nicest I've ever experienced. The shifter itself feels expensive, and costing between £99 and £109 or dollars, it is just that. The derailleur and cassette also look and are expensive at £240 or dollars or 400 UK or US currencies respectively. That is punchy pricing. Top of the line mechanical Shimano XTR and entry-level wireless SRAM GX transmission punchy. For around the same price as a complete Evo 12 drivetrain, you can get either of these cutting-edge competing drivetrains. XTR will appease the weight weenies and the weary of wireless cables for life crowd. For life, innit bruv? GX transmission offers perhaps the best performance shifting pound for pound I've tried at a fraction of the cost of SRAM's more expensive transmissions. And this is exactly where Evo 12 falls down. Compared to either of these titans of mountain bike transmission, it's just not as good. The shifts are a little clunkier, less effortlessly smooth under load, and just doesn't feel as, for want of a better word, complete. Lots about this drivetrain is very good. In fact, it has very nice details that I wish were on other drivetrain parts. The hall lock on the derailleur's B knuckle combined with the new cage clutch means it's very good at managing chain slap and noise. It's right up there with the very best in this department. The shifter's unique switch that changes it between a single or up to 5 shifts to an easy gear on the cassette is a feature I used far more than I thought. Long rides in the hills where dumping multiple gears and saving energy were the name of the game made the multi-shift option a real benefit. Likewise, on our after-work Tuesday night not at all remotely party-paced rides, a misshift can drop you off the back of the pack. You need precision from your shifting, and when you're breathing out of your eyeballs, to hell with energy saving. The single click function gave me the ultimate control I was looking for, and I didn't need to think, just click away and keep smashing those pedals. It is most certainly not bad at all, but in my mind performance is more in line with Shimano's SLX and XT drivetrains and SRAM's mechanical GX Eagle. That in itself is a huge achievement for TRP and is certainly not to be sniffed at. All those group sets are ones I would and happily have run on my own bikes. I used XT for years on my personal bikes, and my long-term Norco fluid has shown me again just how good GX Eagle is. But what both have over TRP is their pricing. They're pretty much half the price of Evo 12. So if I was dropping my own cold hard cash on a new drivetrain, what exactly would I do? Well, if I had the money to splash out on Evo 12, I'd have to go with XTR or GX transmission instead. If I wanted something that performed as well as Evo 12 does, then I'd be hard pressed not to save some serious coin and go for XT or mechanical GX. And this is where it becomes even easier to see why SRAM and Shimano have the drivetrain market wrapped up. Unless you absolutely cannot have either of those brands on your bike, it's hard to make a good case for choosing TRP's Evo 12. The same goes for the aftermarket punter or indeed the product manager at a bike brand. It would take a brave soul to bump up the price of a complete bike by a few $100s to equip Evo 12 over GX or XT. Likewise, would potential buyers feel like they were getting a better deal from their multiple £1,000 or dollar rig if it wasn't dripping in XTR or wireless wizardry? The answer to that is probably not. With some changes though, TRP could be onto a winner with Evo 12. It needs to be cheaper for the aftermarket and for bike brands as well. This could be done by ditching the derailleur's carbon cage, using a simpler, cheaper cassette construction, and offering a version of the shifter without the single or multi-shift switch. Bring it down in price to a roughly in line with the mid-range drivetrains from its rivals, and it becomes a far more tempting option. I think this is the way the brand could go in order to challenge the big two in the drivetrain stakes. It already is in the brake world precisely because it offers similar, if not better in some cases, performance for a similar cost. TRP's DHR Evo brakes cost pretty much the same as SRAM's Code RSC or Shimano's XT 4-piston brakes aftermarket. While I'm not fortunate enough to be privy to OE pricing, it's a fair assumption to say that the same will be true for bike brands. This, along with the well-documented disruption caused by a certain health pandemic, has led to their market share increasing in the brake market. If they can do the same with the next iteration of Evo 12 while improving shifting performance at the same time, it could be onto a winner. Maybe then the big two would become the big three. As it stands though, TRP's Evo 12 drivetrain is a very good attempt to turn the drivetrain market on its head and is an improvement over its first try, the TR12 shifter and derailleur. But for you, our viewers, for now I'd struggle to recommend plucking for it over its rivals. If you want to read my full review on Evo 12, then head over to bikeradar.com with the link in the description. I'd love to know what you think. Are you considering TRP's Evo 12 drivetrain? Have you used a transmission from a brand that isn't Shimano or SRAM on your mountain bike? Let me know down in the comments, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you want to see what we think about another alternative drivetrain, then check out this video.